Lost Caverns of Ixalan is going crazy on the secondary market. The product is performing extremely well, and the price is actually going up, which is not something you get to say about Magic the Gathering product very often. So let's take time and step back and look at all of the sold listings from TCG Player that we track right here at Hometown TCG, and let's dig into why this is such an incredible product for fans of Magic the Gathering. It's funny to think that a year ago, well, a little more than a year, I think like a year and 10 days as of the recording of this video, we got the Brothers War, which was a turning point, in my opinion, for Magic the Gathering. And roughly 1 year later, we see one of the healthiest, if not the healthiest product to release to our community in that calendar year. I'm of course talking about Lost Caverns of Ixalan, a product that presents people who love Magic the Gathering with a ton of the things that we had come to expect from our favorite game over the last decade. And while many of these things were missing in recent sets, Lost Caverns seems to nail them all. So today, I want to take a look at all of the sold listings of sealed product from TCG Player. I want to compare Lost Caverns to other Magic the Gathering sets, and I want to talk about why this product is doing so well, and why it is so amazing for people like you and I who are just big fans of Magic. So without further ado, let's dig into some of the sales information so you guys know. If you've been around the channel for a while, you know that I track every single sold listing of sealed product when it comes to major TCG releases right here, and I use this in a project that I have named the Data Vault. And the benefit here is TCG Player would throw these sales out over the course of I think it's 3 months, so 90 days. After 90 days, those sales would fall off the record completely, and while you get some graphs here and there, eventually those end as well, and we lose that bit of history. So collecting that information makes a kind of a really cool and beautiful time vault where we get to use some of this information to accurately analyze Magic the Gathering sets. Instead of just being all about our emotions to the product and what makes us happy or sad at the time, we actually have some numbers to throw in that, and we're going to talk about the emotion because that's really important later today. But when it comes to Lost Caverns of Ixalan, we see that a product that released on November 17th is selling, well, extremely well. It's brought in almost $1 million on draft, set, and collector boxes alone on TCG Player, and the product is selling at an extremely healthy rate. We see almost 6,000 boxes sold at this time, and we see that November has been the biggest month. Now, this makes sense as November was release month, and it does go to show that with a Magic the Gathering product, we see very similar trends where a product is popular, we buy a ton of it, it all comes out, and then after release, we set it down, never to be seen again. But that actually has not been the case with Lost Caverns of Ixalan. When we take a look at the individual products, mainly the set booster box, which is by far the most popular product for Lost Caverns of Ixalan, we see that there is actually a price increase as we navigate to the graph on the bottom right of the screen here through the month of November. And the boxes are not only continuing to sell, but sell in extremely healthy numbers, and the site even has a wonderful average price. This is the average price of every single box sold on TCG Player. Normally you see this dip very shortly after time. We'll look at an example where it does very heavily right after this. But this just goes to show that even with the price increase and a box that costs more than what we are used to paying, hey, we talked about that year ago, let's look back that last year, for set boxes, it was often we were paying $105, $110 because the set was not doing great. It was tanking in value, and we were buying these boxes at an extremely cheap premium. Well, Lost Caverns of Ixalan represents the antithesis of that argument. When a product seems to have a properly controlled print run, and hold on to the properly controlled print run thought because it comes into play when talking the collector booster, and it has cards that we really not only can relate to, but want to play with, want to put in our decks, or have a wonderful limited experience, you get this beautiful situation that we live in where we don't mind paying a couple extra bucks. And I said it in another video, and I remember, I'll link it here. If I don't, like I said, let me know in the comment section below. I'll link it somewhere. Let me know if I forget to link it. But for the first time in a long time, especially with the last two sets for Standard, Wilds of Eldraine and Lost Caverns of Ixalan, it feels more so than ever that we're getting what we pay for. When we pay our hard-earned money for a collector box or a set box, it feels like we are getting our money's worth. And I don't necessarily mean, oh look, we're paying $120 for EV of the box, or we're getting $130 of EV out of the box. I don't mean that. I mean the set, the experience, the cards in the box from a financial standpoint and a playability standpoint, and our thought process of the excitement of a Magic the Gathering release. Cards that we want to chase down, like the confetti foils or the emblem cards or the neon ink cards and special guests or what have you. It has all come together to form this beautiful product. And we see that again with the collector booster box. Now, the collector booster box is something that we normally see come out in to our community and just rapidly drop in price. It comes down, people try to unload as much as possible, and it always seems to be overprinted. And we talked about the Brothers War earlier and the idea of like serialized cards and limited print runs, and I have been saying for the last year on this channel, Wizards of the Coast isn't stupid. They know that they were overprinting products. Even if they're not willing to say that out loud, they are aware that they were overprinting products. And it does seem like with Lost Caverns of Ixalan, they've gotten closer to that right number, as the average price on TCG Player is $224. And right now on TCG Player, the product is actually sitting at a high of about $255. So all in all, this is a set that gives us what we want in a Magic the Gathering product. And we saw that with Wilds of Eldraine as well, but we mentioned the Brothers War several times. And to contrast something like Lost Caverns of Ixalan, let's take a look at the Brothers War, and we'll take a look at one more set before we get out of here. So the Brothers War saw that experience that we talked about with Magic the Gathering. We're on release, we sold a ton of boxes, and then instantly it fell off as the product released on November 18th, and then the following month in December, while there were no product releases, we also didn't really have any reason to buy this box. Now we see that trend going forward, and we saw the result of this being that the product went on Amazon and was offered for a cheaper price. And when that happens, we get things like here, the Brothers War Collector Booster Box, where we have seen the price over the long term just go rapidly down. So this is something to look for with the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Is this going to follow this trend, or do we see more signs of a healthy, more healthily managed print run from Wizards of the Coast as product prices will stabilize for something like even Wilds of Eldraine and Lost Caverns? But all in all, the big message here is centered around the idea that we finally feel like we're getting what we pay for these products. There are chase cards in these products, and whether they speak to you or me or anyone else in the community, people are paying top dollar for some of these cards. They are looking to chase them down in complete sets, and they are landing with people who are buying Magic the Gathering. And for that reason, it's hard to say too much negative about the Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Now, I want to end this with a caveat. If you're still here sticking around, first of all, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you're clearly interested in stuff like this, and we are racing to 7,000 subscribers. But I do want to see how this product performs over time from an emotional standpoint. We mentioned this way at the beginning of this video, and if you're still around, you get a little bit of a nugget here. I think there's more to this product than just the financial value, and I've said this since I have been covering Magic the Gathering product. Yes, financial value, the value of our cards, how much we're paying for products is important because, well, we're consumers, we're people who have money, and we want to spend that money on things that we not only like, but feel like we're getting good value out of. So there's always going to be a bit of weight there. But the emotional aspect, our attachment to the product, how much we just like something, or like the flavor and the theme or the box opening experience or whatever it is always going to be a good way to not only coax a couple more dollars out of our pocket, but have a product land with our community in a better manner. And Wilds of Eldraine, and even more so, I think Lost Caverns of Ixalan, have done exactly that. Just a retrospective of 2023, we have seen some just absolutely amazing standard releases. March of the Machine being this giant Avengers moment, Phyrexia All Will Be One, Wilds of Eldraine, now Lost Caverns of Ixalan, and I'm gonna roll Brothers War into there, even though that was at the end of 2022. It felt like a turning point in Magic the Gathering. But I want to know what you think. Is this a fluke on the secondary market? I know most of the people in the comment section don't share a lot of my positivity when it comes to the direction of Magic the Gathering and the corner that I believe we are turning. I'm going to talk later this week about my big prediction for 2024, and not to say my prediction for 2023 was right, but Wizards of the Coast knowing that they're overprinting stuff and possibly ending Amazon dumps, and it was a long shot at the time, but I'll pat myself on the back. But I do think in 2024 we're going to see some major change. I think these sets are going to continue to perform in a healthy manner, and I do think that we might see a reduction in variance coming up shortly. So if you liked this, let me know in the comments section below. If you have never shared a hometown TCG video, there's never been a better time sharing on any social media platform, forum, or server that you're in that talk Magic the Gathering, because not only do I love when our community grows, but when I scroll through there and I see it, honestly, it just makes my day. It makes me smile. So thank you so much for hanging out. Until next time, you all know me. My name is Josh, and, well, we'll see you around. All right, goodbye.